Hello everyone. So today we are finally here with the painting of Runa Shirakawa. If you guys remember, I had posted the video of the figure itself, expressing how excited I was to paint it, and honestly, this was really fun. The quality of the figure is really good, which in my opinion, makes the painting experience a lot better. So I did paint two figures of this. One was modified into an original character, the name for whom I could not decide, and people were giving me some crazy ideas over other places where I asked. So this one was obviously to paint the character as is, and no modifications, nothing, just straight up coloring. And in my opinion, it turned out very well. The base tone of the skin was done with airbrush, so I went a bit heavy on the white to give her that pale appearance, to keep it I would say, to keep the color toning as close to the anime as possible. Of course, I'm not an expert when it comes to selecting color shades, but I try my best. I'm still learning, I'm still improving. Hopefully, with time, I get better. So, yeah, and I had to like go over it twice because the first time I did it, I didn't really like the results. So, I had to airbrush the whole thing again and then go in with the shades. Uses like the same old colors, which I think I've mentioned them multiple times by now, which are orange, yellow, white, and there is some browns in there, some red, brown, and there's one more brown. I've posted it in my previous videos. So yeah, honestly, this one I enjoyed painting it, which I don't think I need to say it, but I enjoy painting, so it's like regardless of the figure, I will enjoy it. But the quality and make of this figure was so good that it was an experience in itself. So I did initially I was planning to go for a two-tone shade, but I did go in for a third one, adding a little more brown to give it some additional effect, a little more depth, I would say, but still keeping it as light as possible, because when it comes to these figures, I try to stick to the normal or the usual color toning, so I don't like to go in dark or make things stand out very much, especially when it comes to female figures. You have to find a way to depict the smoothness of the skin instead of where in the male figures it's just, yeah, whatever goes, you can go in with harder shades and it's fine. Over here you have to try and keep things light, or if you're going in with an airbrush, then I would say things are comparatively easy. So yeah, and also I was able to record the painting process as much as possible, because of course airbrushing and things where I need to go in for like the finer details becomes difficult to record, as for airbrushing I have to do it in a separate place because my room is not really set up properly for airbrushing, and for the details I need the figure to be closer to my face, which makes it difficult to record. But other than that, yes, I managed to record all of it. So for the clothes, this one I went with so she comes with a white swimsuit, if I'm not wrong. I don't know if it's a swimsuit, I think it's a swimsuit. So the previous figure which I was talking about, I'll make a separate video comparing the two of them actually. So that one I went for a leopard print effect on the swimsuit, and in fact it turned out very impressive. I was really happy with the way it came out, and I wanted to do the same with this figure as well, so I decided to change her swimsuit into a leopard print suit. So when I go for clothes, I generally start with blacking out the whole thing. All of the clothes have to be painted like black first, then I go in with different shades and add highlights and everything to give it whatever color and effect that I want. And as for the hair, I didn't record the airbrushing of the base, so we just jump into the highlights. So this one, her hair is actually pretty light colored when it comes to the anime, or basically the reference pictures that I was seeing. I've added two of them in the very beginning of the video. So it was very light, and I had to add shadows to it. So I went for an ochreish hue, a darker hue in the beginning, and then just kept on adding whites for the highlight. And I think I went for 3 layers, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I can see 3 layers. So I went for 3 layers for the hair. uh, I like characters which have like long hair, because it's difficult to express, you know, or give a dynamic feeling when there is long hair involved. So it actually adds to the figure, for me at least. But at the same time, it becomes a challenge to paint the figure itself, because painting the separate strands of hair and everything is a little difficult. Other than that, I would say like this one I tried to go as light as possible to give it bring it as close to the anime as possible. And of course, the back side of the hair was airbrushed with I think it was a mixture of yellow and blue and white to get it to the shade that is depicted in the anime. So yeah, the hair was fun. I would say a little bit of a challenge, but it was fun, and the effect came out really nice, so I'm not complaining about that. Then finally, the last step was to paint the swimsuit. As I'd mentioned, I did give it a black coating first, and then I left it to rest. So, and I think before that I did spray it with a top coat as well, just to prevent the black from mixing with other layers, which generally doesn't happen. But just in case, like if you add a little bit of a little extra thinner, you might end up mixing the layers. But since these are lacquer based paints, it is generally very difficult to mix them. They sit on top of each other pretty well. So when it comes to mixing, you generally have to use airbrushes, which is why it is difficult to produce shades with them, or I would say produce gradients with them. So basically, whenever I have to make gradients, I have to use airbrush. Otherwise, it's that is why I specifically prefer cell shading. A, it's fun, and B, it's the type of paints that I use. They are very thick. So yeah, finally I painted the swimsuit, and it was looking pretty good. I think if I had left it at this state as well, it would have been fine, because it was looking nice. I mean, it had a golden hue to it, so a golden swimsuit, it would in my opinion, it wasn't really bad. But I wanted to go for that leopard print style or pattern, I would say. And yeah, because I think I have developed some I don't know, some attraction to the pattern, and I want to make a few figures with this particular pattern of, say, like, I think swimsuits. This thing suits a swimsuit the most. So I'm thinking that I'll probably make this for a few more figures, if depending on the swimsuit, of course. And yeah, the gold pattern was looking good, but at the end, the leopard print came out like really nice. Excuse me. I love it. I love the final results. Painted the eyes and everything. Went in for details with black as usual. So the hair is so with hair like this, which is light colored, it is not necessary that you go in for each and every strand with black. Adding a few adds to the effect of it, and honestly the final result is really satisfying. I like the look of it. It came out nice, the experience was good. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching the whole process with me, and if you have any questions, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know, and I would be more than happy to answer. So yeah, thanks for watching, and bye bye.